Ever wondered how the printer sitting on your desk magically transforms digital files into physical documents? It might seem like a simple task, but behind the scenes, it's a symphony of precision and complexity. This compact machine, often overlooked, is a marvel of modern technology. Imagine the sheer genius that goes into turning a string of zeros and ones into a clear, crisp image or text on a piece of paper. It's a process that involves intricate mechanics, precise control, and of course, a dash of technological magic. From the humble inkjet at home to the mammoth laser printers in offices, each printer has its unique way of bringing digital content to life. But how does it all work? What makes a printer tick? Well, it's time to pull back the curtain. In the next few minutes, we'll delve into this fascinating world of printers and demystify their workings for you. At its core, a printer is made up of 4 fundamental parts. Now, let's break down these key components of a printer. Picture a symphony orchestra, each instrument contributing its own unique sound to create a harmonious melody. In much the same way, each part of a printer plays an essential role in the grand performance of transforming pixels into print. Firstly, we have the power supply. This is the lifeblood of the printer, the beating heart that pumps electricity to every other component. Without the power supply, the printer simply wouldn't function, just as an orchestra would fall silent without a conductor. Next up, we have the motherboard. Think of it as the brain of the printer. It's a complex and sophisticated piece of technology that controls all the other parts. It receives instructions from your computer and translates them into actions. Like a maestro, it directs the symphony, ensuring each component plays their part at the right time. The third key component is the print engine. This is the star performer, the soloist in our printer orchestra. It's the part that physically applies the ink or toner onto the paper, crafting each letter and image with precision. The print engine is where the magic happens, where the music becomes real. Lastly, we have the interface ports. These are the connectors that allow your printer to communicate with your computer or other devices. Just as musicians need to hear each other to play in harmony, your printer needs these interface ports to receive the instructions from your computer. So there you have it. The 4 fundamental parts of a printer: the power supply, the motherboard, the print engine, and the interface ports. Each part is unique, each part is indispensable, and each part works together to perform the intricate ballet of printing. Each of these components plays a crucial role in transforming your digital files into physical documents. Scene script. Let's start with the power supply and the motherboard. The power supply is the heart of the printer, pumping energy to all the components like a life-giving elixir. It converts the alternating current from your wall socket into a direct current that your printer can use. This is a crucial task, as the printer needs a steady, consistent flow of electricity to function optimally. Imagine trying to run a marathon while someone intermittently blocks and unblocks your oxygen supply. Not a pleasant thought, right? That's how your printer would feel with an inconsistent power supply. The power supply doesn't just provide energy, it also protects your printer from electrical fluctuations that could cause damage. It's like a dedicated bodyguard, always on guard, shielding your printer from the potential harm of power surges and voltage spikes. Now, let's move on to the motherboard. If the power supply is the heart, then the motherboard is the brain of the printer. It's the central hub where all information is processed and commands are issued. It's like a maestro conducting an orchestra, ensuring all the different parts of the printer work in harmony. The motherboard controls and coordinates everything from the movement of the printhead to the paper feed to the communication with your computer. It's the ultimate multitasker, keeping track of a multitude of tasks simultaneously. It's like a master chef juggling a dozen pots and pans, making sure each dish is cooked to perfection. The power supply and the motherboard work together like a well-oiled team, ensuring the smooth operation of the printer. The power supply provides the energy, and the motherboard directs it, making sure it goes to the right components at the right time. It's a beautiful dance of electricity and data, a symphony of coordinated actions that result in the pages emerging from your printer, crisp and clear. Without the power supply and motherboard, the printer is just a box of plastic and metal. Now onto the print engine and interface ports. The print engine is the heart of a printer. It's the place where the magic happens, where your digital designs and documents transform into tangible physical prints. How does this transformation occur, you ask? Well, it all starts with the printer receiving data from your device. The data that contains all the details of what you want to be printed. The print engine takes this data and, like a maestro conducting an orchestra, it coordinates the printer's various parts to recreate the digital image onto paper. It controls the movement of the printhead, which houses the ink or toner cartridges, guiding it across the paper to deposit ink in the exact pattern required. At the same time, it's also managing the paper feed mechanism, ensuring that the paper moves smoothly through the printer at the right pace. It's a complex ballet of precision and timing, all orchestrated by the print engine. Now, let's talk about the interface ports. These are the gateways that allow your printer to communicate with the outside world. They are like the printer's ears and mouth, taking in data and sending out information. Most printers come with a variety of interface ports. There's the ubiquitous USB port, which allows for a direct wired connection to your computer. Then there are Ethernet ports for wired network connections, and wireless options like Wi-Fi and Bluetooth for those who prefer a cordless setup. These interface ports work together with the printer's motherboard and power supply to facilitate the entire printing process. The motherboard, as we know, is the printer's brain, processing the data received through the interface ports. The power supply, on the other hand, provides the energy needed to drive the print engine and other components. So, in essence, the print engine and interface ports are two crucial components that work in harmony with the power supply and motherboard. They handle the task of taking the abstract, the digital data from your device, and turning it into something concrete, a printed document. The print engine and interface ports bring the digital world into the physical realm. So, how do all these components come together? Let's delve into the symphony of a printing process where each component plays its own part to create a masterpiece. Picture this. You've just hit the print button on your computer. This simple action triggers a complex chain reaction inside the printer. The command is sent through the interface port, which acts as the messenger, delivering your request to the printer's motherboard. The motherboard, the brain of the printer, interprets this command. It checks the status of the printer, ensuring all systems are ready. If everything checks out, it signals the power supply to start the show. The power supply, the heart of the printer, begins pumping electricity to the necessary components. It stirs the print engine into action, warming up the fuser assembly. This is the component that bonds the toner to the paper, and it needs to be at just the right temperature. Too hot and the toner might smear. Too cool and the toner won't stick properly. Meanwhile, the motherboard instructs the paper feed mechanism to select a sheet of paper from the tray. The paper begins its journey, winding its way through the printer, guided by a series of rollers. As the paper makes its way towards the print engine, the toner cartridges get to work. They release a precise amount of toner onto the electrostatic drum. The drum then rolls across the paper, transferring the toner in the exact pattern of your document. The now printed paper heads towards the fuser, which melts the toner onto the paper, ensuring a clean, crisp finish. This process happens so quickly and so precisely, it's like watching a well-conducted orchestra, each instrument playing its part perfectly. Finally, the finished document emerges from the printer, the culmination of a complex yet harmonious process. Each component has played its part, and the result is a physical representation of your digital file. And voila! Your digital file is now a physical document. So, we've now uncovered the mystery of how a printer works. We've journeyed through the four fundamental parts, delving into the power supply and motherboard, the heart and brain of the printer, respectively. They control and power the entire system, making sure everything works in harmony. We've discovered the print engine and interface ports, the muscle and communication lines of the printer that transform digital data into tangible printed materials. The print engine, with its intricate dance of rollers, belts, and gears, brings our print jobs to life, while the interface ports ensure our devices and the printer can speak the same language. In the Symphony of Printing, we've seen how these components come together, orchestrating a complex ballet to deliver that sheet of paper adorned with our thoughts, ideas, or pictures. It's a testament to human ingenuity, turning a complex process into a simple, everyday task. Next time you hit print, remember the intricate dance of components that makes it all possible. Until then, keep exploring and keep learning.